The University of Memphis Pom has been easily recognized as one of the best dance teams to grace the UDA floor, collecting 16 national titles, which includes 9 consecutive titles from 1986 to 1994, and most recently winning the 2024 Game Day Dance D1A division. In 2012, the University of Memphis Pom was chosen to represent the USA at the ICU World Cheerleading Championships, where they placed silver. Needless to say, this decorated team has built a legacy for themselves, and I'm sure will continue to inspire those all around for years and years to come. I had the privilege of speaking with Anthony from the University of Memphis Pom and Ambush crew as the first male dancer to touch the UDA floor competing D1A Hip Hop with Memphis. Anthony has broken barriers for future male talent to come. If you enjoy content like this, interviews, dance team news, reactions, etc., please do me the favor and hit that subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, go ahead and follow. I interviewed 9 athletes that are going to be competing at UDA this season, and we talked about their experiences making it onto their team, how they prepare for UDA, what goes on behind the scenes, all of that good stuff. And without further ado, let's give it up for our first guest that we are having, Anthony with the University of Memphis Pom and Ambush crew. I feel like there is so much I want to learn about you from watching you on Memphis to seeing you compete. I am just very inspired by what you put on the stage. So I'm excited to learn more about you and who Anthony is.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to do this interview. I'm really
Of
excited.
course, of course. So I want to go back to like the start from when Anthony first started dancing, your journey leading up to Memphis. What got you into dancing? Where did you start? What styles? Tell me about it.
Dance was like first introduced to me when I was like a little bit younger. I was like 10 maybe. I would like watch Matt Steffanina videos on YouTube and I would just like see all these people dancing and I never really knew that like dance was what it was, honestly. I just thought that it was, just something cool and fun to do. I didn't actually start dancing until I was 16. Um, I started dancing at this studio here in Memphis called Subroy, and Subroy basically just like changed everything for me. It made me find like a passion for it and decide that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so, yeah, it kind of just started from there, and I kind of just went from there and made my way.
I love that. So you're from Memphis.
Yes, I am from Memphis, born and raised.
That is incredible. So, last that I've heard, Memphis doesn't go through like a recruitment process. They do everything through auditions. Is that still standing true?
So actually, this year is our first year offering recruitment. So
Nice.
I think right now we do have 2 recruits, and yeah, this is our first year introducing that. But every year before this one, you do have to audition.
Okay, so tell me about your audition process. You're going into auditions. How are you feeling? What really like inspired you to want to go to Memphis?
Okay, so to be honest with you, I this is gonna sound real crazy, but living in Memphis all 19 years of my life, I never knew anything about Memphis Pom. I did not know a thing about it. Like that's the craziest thing for me because it's literally in Memphis, 10 minutes away from my actual house. So I never knew anything about Memphis. So one day I was at school. I was a senior. It was in like February, and Brenna, this she's really amazing. Brenna on my team, she reached out to me on Instagram because she seen one of my videos, and she was like, "Hey, like you're really fire. I was just wondering if you ever thought about trying out for the University of Memphis dance team." Now, when I first got the message, I was like, "What is the University of Memphis dance?" And so I like went and looked it up. I did like all the research and I was like, oh, like this is really cool. And it makes it even crazier that my coach is an alumni of Memphis Pom. So how do I not know what it is? And so yeah, from there I just went to a clinic. There was only one more clinic left before auditions. So I went to the clinic, felt it out a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, like this is cool. Like I I'm liking how this is going. So from there, I just made the decision to audition. And yeah, that was a really scary process for me because I was at the time where I didn't know what I wanted to do with dance. So me trying out was kind of just like spontaneous. I was like, okay, just go for it. Whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. And yeah, I ended up making it.
So when you're going to auditions and you're going through the process, what were some like unique challenges that you might have faced as you're going through that process?
For me, one of the most unique about it was like how it was ran, because I personally never went through an audition process. I had never been to clinics before that. You have some people on my team who's been to 10 clinics in 10 years. So it was me just like jumping into it head first. It was a very different experience. Everything was ran more like flat out. It's like this time, this time, this time, you're gonna learn this, that. This is how this is gonna go. And that really was like a culture shock for me because coming from the studio that I came from, stuff really wasn't like ran like that. So when I went through the audition process, that was just really new for me. And so it took a lot of adapting to, and I'm honestly still adapting to it because it doesn't like happen overnight. I never was like really on a stationary dance team, like a high school dance team. So coming to Memphis, going straight to college dance, and also not even knowing all of the things that were already laid out before I got here, it was just like a culture shock.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You are one of the first male dancers to touch the UDA floor with Memphis.
Okay, it's kind of crazy to even say it, but I did like kind of make history being on Memphis, being one of the first, being the first boy to compete with Memphis in the hip hop category, or just as a broad spectrum. So it's really cool to know that there are three other boys on the team also, and we all competed in game day last year, which we won. So yeah, I am one of the first. That's really
You
cool.
are a trailblazer.
Yes.
When you're going into dance, when you first started, what styles did you focus on?
So I literally only did hip hop. In my studio, we were offered hip hop, contemporary, jazz. We were offered all of those things, but if I'm being honest, I was never really good at anything else. But but hip hop.
I see your turns. I see you post them sometimes on non-Instagram, TikTok.
But yeah, I definitely like to turn around a little bit. I've learned a lot being on Memphis and a lot of new things. So I definitely try to get my technique in here and there.
When you are auditioning, or even maybe let's say when you made the team, were there any like doubts from the community, or did you feel any doubts going into being on Memphis?
Honestly, yes, because okay, being from Memphis and kind of coming from the background that I came from, it's really like kind of looked down upon to even go for something like that
Mm-hmm.
and to be successful at it. So even from the jump when I started dancing, there wasn't really a lot of support because, as a male, it's kind of weird for people to look at me and be like, oh, like you're dancing and you love doing it and you want to do that for the rest of your life instead of me actually going to do something else. So there was really always like subtle doubt from people until like I began to like kind of get the experiences that I started to get from it. And so then there was like, oh, like, okay, you're actually doing something. Now we can support that. So yes, there were a lot of doubts
Oh
from a lot of
yeah. Oh
people that I
yeah.
wouldn't have even expected. But you take that and you use that as fuel to keep going.
As you should, yeah. And you make a lot of us proud. You are like someone that I wish when I was like 12 years old watching UDA nationals, I would wish I would see more males on the floor. So to see
Yes.
how big it's growing and teams are accepting more males on their team and actually competing on the floor, it is truly inspiring.
Yes.
So to my understanding, well, first, Memphis has a huge program. I know of Memphis Pom and Ambush Crew. Are there
Yeah.
any more teams that I'm missing? And like, what's the difference between these teams?
Okay. Thank you so much for asking me this question because everybody is always so confused. So a part of Memphis Spirit Squads, there are two teams. There's Memphis Cheer and then Memphis Palm and Ambush Crew.
Okay.
So as far as Memphis Pom and Ambush Crew goes, the only difference between Memphis Pom and Ambush Crew is that we don't hold palms. That's literally, I would say, is the only difference. And we obviously focus more towards hip hop. So we don't, do the doubles in our sidelines, and we don't flip our hair and do all of that. We just more so focus on the hip hop fundamentals. So we do like the same sidelines. We do every single game. We do everything. We just wear different clothes, and we don't wear palms. So a lot of people always ask me like, oh, like what's Ambush Crew? Like what's Ambush Crew? Like what's the difference? And if I have to be very honest with you, there is zero difference. The only difference, like I said, is we don't wear the dresses and we don't have the palms and we don't have to do the makeup and all of this.
Going into like a game day experience with Memphis, what does a typical game day look like? Are there any like traditions that you guys do, or what does it look like from start to finish?
Okay. So from start to finish, let's say we have a 6 p.m. game, football. So for a 6 p.m. football game, we get there 3 hours early. We get there about 3 o'clock. We come dressed already. We go into our locker room, put our stuff down, put on our game day faces. The girls already come ready, boys already come ready. Then at like the 2 hour mark before the game starts, we do a tiger walk. So we walk through with the football players, and they come through with their suits on, and we're just kind of like hyping up the fans, tailgating people, and then we go back to our locker room. We set our timeout on the field just to make sure everything is perfect and clean. Then an hour before the game starts, which would be 5 p.m., we do a pep rally. So they basically just play a whole bunch of band songs, and we just go full out for our life, and just hype up the crowd to get them ready for the game and also get them ready for us. And then boom, the game starts. We do a walk all around the field. There's a song playing. It's like this like helmet with like a it's like a helmet car that like the seniors get in, and then we just drive around waving to people. Ooh. Then I think around 15 to 30 minutes before the game starts, we do a pregame. So the pregame is basically just us and the band, and we're just dancing all out on the field. It's like a real big ritual. They play like our spirit video, then they play the football video. Football walks out. We do that. Woo, have all the fun, and then right after that, it's like every single game, we line up on the end zones and we do swag surfing. And it's so fun because the whole crowd is engaged. The football players are getting ready to win. And it's just like an amazing experience. And like being in Memphis in the bowl, it's like a different experience because everybody's just so committed. Like the fans, they love us. They love the football team. The football team loves us. We love football. So everything just like meshes into each other, and it makes it just an unforgettable experience. So, yeah, after that, we obviously, we do our timeout. We do like a third quarter timeout. Also, we just do a band song. And then, yeah, hopefully we win. And when we win, at the end, we just do like a alma mater. And yeah, we do one more sideline, and then we're done for the day.
You make me want to go to Memphis.
Yes, you should come to a Memphis game.
I would
Um,
love to.
Yes, and then for basketball, it's kind of like the same, but we just get there 3 hours early, set our timeouts, do a around the court. They play a video. We do two timeouts instead of just one. So we do two timeouts, one in the first half, one in the second half. We do like timeouts all throughout. And I personally like basketball more because I feel like it's more interactive. I get to see the fans more up
Hmm.
close. I get to throw them shirts. I get to, dance in front of them. It's just really, really great. Personally, I like basketball better.
Okay, I hear a lot of hype surrounding 901 Day. What is this? Like, explain it to me because I'm all the way in California. I have
Uh,
no idea what 901 Day is.
okay, so 901 Day has been going on since I was a kid. Every single year on September the 1st, obviously 901, it's just basically a celebration of everything that Memphis is. So there's like parades downtown, there's like free food vendors, there's just like a big, big celebration just surrounding on like the principles and the history of Memphis. And so for us, we just kind of celebrated, obviously because we're Memphis dance team. So there may be like an appearance that we go to, or we may even celebrate it ourselves and go downtown and have a little fun. So yeah, it's just basically just like a big celebration of what Memphis is, and it's been going on since like my mom was a kid. So yes, it's just like, it's really nothing like big, but it to
Yeah.
people like on the outside, but to us it means a lot because it's just like a representation of what we truly are in Memphis.
Thinking back to the game day routines that you have performed, what is a favorite that stands out to you?
We have one called I Am Memphis. So we all wear like this black hoodie that says I Am Memphis on it. And it's like a tradition with Memphis Pom and Ambush Crew. It's like jam packed. It's tricks in it, and it's basically just like it's kind of like an introduction to what we have for the rest of the season, and that's like one of my favorites. I just love it. The music is amazing. My second one I would have to say is we have one choreographed by Shannon PEREZ. It's called My Chick Bad. My teammates is not their favorite, but I absolutely love it because I just love like getting low and getting nasty with it, and it's just like it's just amazing. I love it. And then my last one will be another one that we just got this year, choreographed by Shandon. It's called Swag Surfing.
Mm.
So it's like literally stuff going on everywhere. Like it's flips over here, solos over here, transitions over here, transitions over there. And because it's like swag surfing, the song is swag surfing, it's like another Memphis like song. We love that song down. And yes, that's one of our newer ones. So we've only done it like once or twice. And I just love that one. It's just so energetic and amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so I have learned from the Miss Shandon Perez a few times on my NBA career. I
Yeah.
have my single word. I'm going to let you go first. Describe Shandon's choreography in one word.
Innovative.
Ooh, I like it. My word is exhausting.
Yes.
I love Shandon's choreography, but you want me to hit a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4
Yes.
in 2
She
seconds?
she wants you to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Like Shandon, come on.
Can I
Like
breathe a
no, can
little?
I breathe? Please, can I breathe? But
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Going into nationals, thinking back to this past season, 2024, you're about to step onto the UDA floor with Memphis for the first time. What's going through your head? Like, how are you feeling? What is going on behind the scenes?
Okay. So behind the scenes, let's just like go from the very big jump. When we the first day we left for nationals, we were in the airport. Nobody knows this except my teammates, but I was like deathly sick. I was
Mm.
so sick. Like I couldn't breathe. I don't know. I got sick out of nowhere, and our trainer had to like give me IVs every single night just to like even get me pushing, because I literally felt like I was like caving in. I couldn't get through the routines at practice. I was like crying on like the rehearsal. I was like, I can't do it, Carol. Like I can't do it. I'm like boo-hoo crying because I just felt so defeated. So
Oh.
when we very first stepped on that stage for semifinals of hip hop, I just it was like all the sickness just like went out of my body.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
I just felt so exhilarated seeing everybody out in the crowd. It's so many people there. All of my vet teammates told us like, "Oh, y'all don't. There's so many people there. There's so many people there." But when you watch it on videos, you don't think that it's really that many people
Yeah.
until you really walk out there and you're like, "Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
Like, how am I supposed to do this right now?" So when we said that first 5, 6, 7, 8, and we got set, I was like, and the music came on, it was just like something just filled my body up, and I was not sick for that 2 minutes. I was not. Like that 2 minutes just felt so like amazing. And to see all of our work for the past like 2 to 3 months come to life was just so fulfilling. And so when I walked off the stage, I fell out. Like I was like I like fell out. I was it wasn't even me being dramatic. I just was so sick. But you would have never been able to tell because
No.
it was like it went completely out of the way when I got on that stage. And so for finals, it was an even different experience because you really have to put everything on the floor for the last time because nobody's going to see it again. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to put it on the floor for the last time. And I would say for finals, I did feel a little bit better as far as like my health, but it was very different. It was like semifinals on steroids times 30. Like you had to fight for your life up there. Like all of us, we had to fight for our life. We were screaming the whole time. And yes, it was just an amazing feeling. And I would not trade that first feeling for the world.
I would have never been able to tell that you were feeling sick out there. It
Yeah.
was, I love Memphis routines year after year, but there was something about last season's routine that just hit me different. I
Yeah.
am very excited to see what's put on the floor this coming season.
Yeah.
What does the preparation process look like for Memphis? Like you guys are learning in fall, you also have game day. Right now, you're probably going through two-a-days. Like, what does it look like?
Okay. So a regular like preparation practice for us. So obviously we do still have to do football and we do have to do basketball. So in between all of that, when we first learned the routine, I remember the day after we had to go to a football game. Like the day after there was a football game after learning hip hop choreo. And as of like right now, we still have basketball games. We still have finals. We have all of those things going on at once. And this is like one of the most hectic times because the only break we really just like get for real is like Christmas, like a Christmas break. And so now it's beginning to become like 9 to 4, 9 to 5, like,
It's
and
a
it's going to
full-time
get
job.
yes, it's going to get even more hectic starting like late December after Christmas. It's gonna probably be 6 to 9 p.m. Like that is that like it gets really hectic, but it's really worth it in the
Oh
end.
yeah.
At the time, you're thinking like, "Oh my god, like what am I doing?" But then when it finally pays off, it's just an amazing, amazing feeling, and you start to just really appreciate all of the time that you spent with your teammates. Because if I'm being honest with you, and I think this is the same for probably any dance team, after like nationals and fall semester, you really don't even like you don't do anything for real. Like you go to practice and set the time out that you're gonna do for the game next week. And that's literally it. Like it's really just pushing out the timeouts. Other than that, you're really not spending as much time as you just were with your teammates. And then right after that, like April, March mark, you're not seeing your teammates at all. Like really, you're not really seeing them until tryouts, and then after that, you're not seeing them until August. So you really begin to appreciate that nationals time that you spent all day long with each other. Even though it may be annoying when you're around the same people every single day for 13 hours straight,
Oh yeah.
it definitely gets like hectic, but you really begin to appreciate it.
So during that busy time, you have finals, you probably have teammates that are working, you're going through these long practices. How do you stay motivated?
I would say the motivation is it comes from like yourself. Nobody can make you find the motivation. And so it's just all of us having that feeling of like we want to do even better than we did last year. So you're going to automatically just like put more into it, and it's just like a different feeling knowing like you performed the way you wanted to last year, but you want to perform even better this year, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
be even more cleaner and even more just like in sync with each other also. And so I think the motivation just comes from like just wanting to top yourself, honestly. the other teams, top, this team, top what we've been doing the past years, because you always just want to level up even more. So I think it's just a simultaneous, just like an agreement from everybody that you just want to do even better.
So beyond the University of Memphis, where do you want to take dance?
Okay, before Memphis, I never wanted to do dance team. Like, I never knew about it. I always wanted to go straight to the industry. I wanted to move to Atlanta or LA and just go for it, honestly. But um, as of right now, I still want to do that exact same thing, but I'm trying to look into more like choreography,
Mm.
because I've started to like book jobs to do different things for different teams, and it honestly like fulfills me to do that, to know that I can put my choreography on people. So I am looking right now into coming out with like a choreography business. And so right now I think that I want to focus on that, and then after college maybe make something a little bit bigger than that and still chase my commercial dreams of dance.
Oh, yeah. All right. What advice would you give to dancers that are looking to dance in college, whether that's Memphis or a junior college? What advice would you give to dancers?
So, some very important advice that I would give to anybody that wanted to dance in college, more specifically for the people who really don't have college background, it's not going to be easy at all. But you have to trust in yourself. You have to trust in your teammates to know that they're going to help you through it. Know that you're always going to have 24/7 support from everybody. And even if you're going into it alone, know that you're not going to come out of it alone, because it's just like a different experience being on a dance team and having 46 people around you that will make sure that you know what you're doing. Also, stay motivated. Like,
Mm.
always find something to keep you motivated and to give you the drive to continue going, because it's going to be really, really hard, especially when you don't know if it's what you want to do for real. You don't know if you can do it, balancing college classes with work maybe. And you may start to think like, wow, I can't do this. I'm not going to go for it. Do it. Like, literally just do it. You never, ever, ever know until you actually try. And so just always keep that motivation and drive for yourself, and stay inspired always. For me, I always stay inspired. I'm always, watching other people and what they do, and I'm staying inspired always, so I never fall out of love and that passion for dancing. So, all of those things combined into one, like, you're gonna be amazing, you know. So you just have to really apply yourself and keep everything just tight knit with your mental and your physical, to make
Mm.
sure that you're going to be able to provide the best service to your team that's needed and that's possible.
Well, Anthony, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I have been looking forward to chatting with you and getting to know you beyond scrolling on your TikTok. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I'm rooting for Memphis and you this season at UDA.
All right. Thank you so much.
Of course.